the pregnancy test. I can't tell if that's a, I don't think it is. Not pregnant. Kind of sad about it. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. Wow, I'm pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, this doesn't feel real. Oh, I'm so happy.
Can you believe it?
No. God. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. You guys, I am so excited for you to learn more about my pregnancy journey. As a quick disclaimer, I just want to say I know that pregnancy and fertility is a sensitive topic. It is for me, and I know that it is for so many other people, which is why I'm glad to be partnering with BetterHelp on this video. You guys will learn more in details of my pregnancy journey, but during my journey, I struggled a lot with mental health of just trying to get pregnant, controlling my expectations and my sadness, and I wished I had such an amazing resource like BetterHelp to help me during that journey. I feel like it's so hard when you want something that is out of your control, and even if it's not pregnancy for you, if it's a friendship, a relationship, a job, a life circumstance, no matter what it is, I recommend BetterHelp for therapy and counseling. I have countless friends who have used BetterHelp through their difficult life circumstances and they rave about it. If you don't know what BetterHelp is, BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and will give you helpful, unbiased advice. You can use my link on the screen and also in the description box to navigate to BetterHelp, and then you'll answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you to a professional that has years of helping people with similar struggles to yours. I also love BetterHelp because you can do it all from the comfort of your home. You can use your phone or computer and you can do phone call, messaging, or video chat, whatever you feel most comfortable with. So it is the easiest way to start talking to a therapist. I'll put my link on the screen for you guys once again, but thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and I hope if you're going through something similar to what I was in terms of pregnancy, fertility, and just trying, or just any life circumstance, you can use BetterHelp as a resource. Hi you guys, it is so crazy that I'm currently filming this video. If you guys saw the title, or if you just watched the first few minutes of this video, you will know that I am pregnant. It feels so weird to say it, like just to even say it here on YouTube. I've been making these silly little videos since I was like 15 years old, and now I'm 23. I'm no longer in high school. I'm no longer in college. I'm married and I am expecting my first baby. I kind of just wanted to sit down and talk about our pregnancy story, our journey, all that good stuff in this video, because if you're also expecting and you're looking for a mom-to-be to watch and relate to, hopefully I can be that, because I know it can be an isolating experience and I don't want you guys to feel like you're alone in all this, because you're definitely not. But also, if you are not a mom-to-be and you're just curious about my experience, then I would love to share, because I just think this is such like a unique thing to go through and I honestly love talking about it. So a little backstory on me and Jackson. We were trying to have a baby and it took us about 7 to 8 months to get pregnant with our sweet little miracle baby. When we first got married, we did not think having kids early was in the cards for us. We wanted to wait at least like 2 years to have kids, and I got married pretty young. I was 22 when we got married. I just turned 22 like a couple months before. A couple months in, I just feel like about 7 months into our marriage, my heart kind of shifted and I just had this desire to be a mother. I feel like that's so weird to say out loud, but I really just wanted to start a family, have a baby, be a mom, and I prayed about it for a while and it just didn't go away, and obviously it hasn't gone away. But I went to Jackson and I said, like, what are you thinking about starting to try now? You know, we're like a few months away from our 1-year wedding anniversary. Do you want to still wait? Like, do you want to try? What is the vibe? He basically said, when I talked to him at the time, he was like, I don't think I'm ready. Like, I just don't see us there yet, which is totally fine. And I think that was a sign from God to just like wait, because you want both parents to be on the same page about like being ready and being expectful and wanting to have a baby before you dive in and try. So a few months passed, and then Jackson came to me and he just said one day that he was ready to start trying, that he wanted to have a baby. So we both were on the same page. We both felt like we were ready to start trying and just like go into this adventure. And also I do have family history of hard pregnancies or just a hard time getting pregnant. My mom, it took her a couple years to get pregnant with me and my brother. So I had the expectation that it probably wouldn't be instant and that it might take a while. Also, like the average statistic is that it takes women about, you know, 7 to 9 months to get pregnant and go all the way up to a year before they receive any medical counseling or advice. I was just like, okay, we basically have a whole year that we could get pregnant at any time, and that would be amazing. Something too that was also helpful was I got off of birth control around month 4 of our marriage, and then since then I had been tracking my cycle. We were doing it as a method to prevent pregnancy, but then we had to switch to want pregnancy instead, which is just funny because that's like a whole switch in your brain. You have to flip from wanting to avoid pregnancy to wanting pregnancy. Because I was doing natural family planning, I feel like I was very in tune with my body and my cycle as well, which really helped me in this process because I knew the days that I was ovulating, like I knew the best days to try. I think we started trying around April or May of 2023. The first few months we did not get pregnant, and honestly it was hard because even though you tell yourself like it might take some time, you still have that expectation in your heart of like, oh, this month could be it, like this month could be it. We were testing every single month early on, and I just think for me, some people are literally fine with taking a pregnancy test. They're like, I mean, I just want to take the test, no, I'm not pregnant, like try again next month. But I think in my head I would kind of build like an anticipation or an expectation that the lines would be there and that I would be pregnant. So we decided very early on to just not test and basically let my period come, and if my period was ever late then we would do a pregnancy test. But then months went by and my period was never late. It always came on time and I was always tracking it, and it came like clockwork. The month that we did get pregnant, it's very funny because it's actually the month that we didn't try to get pregnant. We were going to Disney World for Thanksgiving and we went in November of 2023, and we had that plan for literally months. And so we were like, if I get pregnant before, then that's like amazing. And we have basically all the months up until September to just try and get pregnant. And then the month before, if I'm not pregnant, we're just gonna stop and then just go to Disney and then try again after. And our logic was just kind of that, like, you don't really want to go to a theme park when you're pregnant, especially if it's just very early pregnancy and the baby is only like 6 or 7 weeks. It was just in my head not ideal. So I was like, let's just not try, let's just wait and then pick it back up in November. Literally, of course, I feel like when you make plans, God just like throws a monkey wrench in it and just does whatever he wants because he's God and he knows best. That was the month that we ended up getting pregnant, the month that we really were not tracking, we really did not try, and that was the month that I ended up pregnant with our sweet baby. It just makes me laugh because I think the hardest thing for me of trying was just control over the situation. You obviously want to know your peak days, you obviously want to know your ovulation, you can only plan out so much, but I think it just proves in the end that God knows the best, and it's also a miracle to get pregnant at all. It's everything that has to come together is really so cool, and it just proves that there is a creator and he is so good. It was crazy too because the way that we found out was the 1 month that I just had this feeling. I had a very strong gut feeling that I was pregnant. You guys knew that I wasn't testing since like month 3 of trying. I basically hadn't taken a pregnancy test for 5 months just because I just didn't want to set up myself for that disappointment. I told Jackson that month, I said, I think that I'm pregnant. I had just this feeling, like I just felt different in my body. I was just convinced that I was pregnant and I really wanted to take a test. And he just told me like, we can take a test, but I want you to do it when I'm home so I can be there. And then, you know, if not, be there for you. And so we did it a Friday when he was off from work, and then we took the pregnancy test 3 days before my missed period, or what would have been my missed period. And in my research, a pregnancy test is like the most accurate after your period was missed, but I just really wanted to know. And so I was like, my period's coming in 3 days, let's just try and take this test. The first test that we took, I didn't even pee on it enough, like it didn't even change. So then I had to go back, pee again on it, and the second I peed on it, it turned and it said pregnant. And I was like, literally, oh my gosh. And I showed this to Jackson and I was like, I think that I'm pregnant. Then he goes, well, you just peed on it again, so you didn't do it the right way. Like, let's not get your hopes up in case it was like a false positive, which knowing now, it's really, really hard to get a false positive. Like, that pretty much never happens. But I was like, okay, you're right. Like, I have another test in the box. Let's go take that. I peed on it, made sure that there was enough liquid, flipped it over on the counter, and then we set a timer for 5 minutes and then came in and flipped it together, and it was positive. It was literally so crazy. Like, I just think I was in disbelief because it was such an answer to prayer. And of course I cried, like of course I got emotional, but also it was just a regular Friday morning. And I think afterwards, like, we had to go to the DMV, like I had to go to work, like I still had the rest of my day to do and carry on, but I just had this crazy secret that only me and Jackson knew, and it just didn't even feel real. We didn't tell our parents until 3 days later, and they were the first people that we told, my parents and Jackson's parents, and we kept it that way until we would see the baby for the first time, which was about 8 weeks, so 4 weeks later from when we found out, just because I wanted to see the baby and confirm that I was actually pregnant before we went around and told everyone the news. And even before we told his parents, like I told him, I was like, do I need to take another test? Like, should I take more tests just to verify? Because it really did not feel real to me, and it was still so surreal and just so amazing that it was even happening, and I just couldn't believe it because it was such an answer prayer after 8 months of trying. And then by the time you guys are watching this, we have announced to the world on social media that we are expecting, and I'm literally so excited. But yeah, those are all my pregnancy updates from my early pregnancy. I'm so excited to tell you guys the good news, and we are just so grateful, and I just feel so blessed to just be trusted with this sweet baby. If you have any kids, drop some advice down in the comments for me. I love like pregnancy book suggestions or supplements or workouts or anything that you love, and I'm just so excited to update you guys with my journey.